Have you ever looked at the change in your pocket and wondered if you're sitting on a hidden fortune? Today, we're diving into one of the most overlooked coins in U.S. history, the 19770 Roosevelt dime. While most are worth just 10 cents, a rare few have sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars. How? Let's find out. The Roosevelt dime has been a staple of American pocket change since 1946. Following the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 19770 dime was struck at the Denver Mint, and over 368 million of them were made. So, how could one possibly be valuable? Well, like with many modern coins, it's not just about the date or mint mark, it's about condition, rarity, and errors. In average circulated condition, a 19770 dime is only worth face value, 10 cents, even in an uncirculated condition. Many are only worth around $1 to $3. So what makes some of them stand out? The answer is in the details, literally. The most expensive 19770 dimes fall into two main categories: mint errors and high-grade specimens. Subsection F, mint errors. Errors are accidental flaws during the minting process. Here are some that can raise a dime's value dramatically. Off-center strikes. The coin is not properly aligned, resulting in missing design elements. Double dies. Doubling on the date or lettering is a major collector attraction. Wrong planchet errors. Imagine a dime struck on a penny planchet. Yes, it's happened. And yes, it's worth money. Some of these error coins have sold for over $1,000, depending on rarity and condition. Subsection B, high-grade specimens. Coin graded or higher by RNGC is considered a top-tier example. These are incredibly rare for the 19770 dime, especially with a flawless strike, full torch lines, and no contact marks. A 19770 dime graded with full bands sold at auction for nearly $1,600. If you think you might have a valuable dime, here's what you should do. Inspect it closely. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Look for doubling, off-centering, or strange metal colors. Check the bands. Look at the torch on the reverse. If the horizontal lines are fully struck and separated, you might have a full bands dime. Graded. Consider submitting the coin to or for professional grading if it appears. Compare with auction records. Websites like eBay, Heritage Auctions, and Price Guide can help you see what similar coins have sold for. The 1970 Roosevelt dime might seem ordinary, but in the right condition or with the right error, it can be a hidden treasure. So next time you're going through your change, take a second look. You might just be holding a $1,000 dime. Have you found a rare coin in your pocket? Drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your story. And don't forget to 1970 Roosevelt dime and why it can sometimes be worth more than face value. Basic information: coin, Roosevelt dime, year, 1977, mint mark, the Denver Mint, face value, 10 cents USD, composition, 91.67% copper, 8.33% nick mintage. Over 368 million coins were made in Denver in 1977. Why can a 19770 dime be valuable? If your dime is in mint state condition, no wear, shiny, no scratches, especially or higher, it can be worth $100 to $1,600 plus, depending on quality and certification. Full bands FB on the reverse of the dime torch side. If the horizontal lines on the torch are fully visible and separated, the coin may be labeled full bands. This makes it much more valuable. Special error dimes are very valuable. Examples include double die, doubled letters or numbers. Off-center strike. Coin design is not centered. Wrong planchet struck on the wrong metal, like a penny planchet coins. If your coin is graded and certified by and it's a rare condition. Or error, it can be sold at auction for hundreds or thousands of dollars. Tips to identify a rare 19770 dime: use a magnifying glass to check for clear torch lines, full bands, no scratches, or where mint condition. Any unusual markings, errors. Compare it with images of known valuable coins. The next up, imagine finding a coin in your change jar. Worth thousands of dollars, but it's tiny. It's common. But in the world of coin collectors, this dime, yes, just 10 cents could be a hidden treasure. Today, we dive deep into the story of the 1980 T. Roosevelt dime, a coin so mysterious, some say it shouldn't even exist. Welcome to the most expensive dime you've never heard of, your source for rare coins, collector's tips, and hidden gems in your pocket change. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification before we get to 1982. Let's rewind a bit. The Roosevelt dime has been a staple in American currency since 1946, honoring President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his death. It replaced the Mercury dime and was minted in 3 main locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But over the years, a few strange variations slipped through the cracks. Some were due to mint errors, others due to experimental runs, and then there's the 1980 T dime. In 1982, the U.S. Mint made a major change. They started phasing out mint marks on proof sets and adjusted how coins were struck. This caused confusion and a few legendary errors. But the T on the 1980 to Roosevelt dime, that's where things get really interesting. Officially, the U.S. Mint never used a T mint mark. D is for Denver, S is for San Francisco, and P or nothing at all was for Philadelphia. So where did the T come from? Some believe the T is a die gouge or a foreign object that got stuck during the minting process. Others argue it's a private or counterstamped coin done by an outside party. There's even speculation that it was a test strike or an experimental piece not meant for circulation. But whatever the origin, these coins are extremely rare. Only a few have surfaced. If you think you have one of these mysterious 1980 T dimes, the next question is, what condition is it in? Coins are graded from poor all the way to mint state 70, which is a perfect, flawless coin. A well-worn 1980 T dime might fetch a few $100s from curious collectors, but a mint condition more professionally graded or higher, that's where we enter 4-figure territory, and in some rare cases, even more. One such dime was reportedly sold for over $10,000 at auction because of its near-perfect state and the mystery behind its origin. Think you have one? Here's what to look for. Date: 1980 to the letter T near the mint mark area, right side of the torch. No signs of post-mint damage. The T should appear as if struck with the original die and ideally minimal wear and scratches. A magnifying glass or coin loop can help, or get it professionally appraised. Part 6. What to do if you found something that fits the bill. Here's your next move. Don't clean the coin. Cleaning can reduce its value. Take clear photos, front, back, and close-up of it submitted to a professional grading service or NGC are most trusted. Check recent auction listings. See what similar coins have sold for. Reach out to Numismatic forums. Sometimes other collectors can help identify if it's real or a lookalike. And who knows, you might be holding a coin worth thousands of dollars. The world of coin collecting is full of stories, some legendary, some still unfolding. The 1980 T. Roosevelt dime remains one of those modern mysteries that keeps collectors on the edge of their seats. So next time you get change at the store, check your dimes. You might just strike silver or something even rarer. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more rare coin content, and share it with a friend who loves a good treasure hunt. The next up dime, 10 cents, barely enough to buy anything today. But what if I told you that a single dime from 1986, yes, just a regular looking 1986 Roosevelt dime, could be worth thousands of dollars? Today, we're diving deep into the story of one of the most expensive 1986 dimes ever sold, why it's worth so much, and what to look for in your spare change. Get ready, you might just be sitting on a fortune. Visual, close-up shots of different dimes. Denver Mint footage. Roosevelt the 1986 dime was minted at the Denver Mint, with over 1 billion pieces struck that year. It's a Roosevelt dime, part of a series that began in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his. But here's the thing, most 1986 dimes are worth exactly 10 cents. So what makes one of them worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? That answer lies in a combination of rarity, condition, and mint errors, visual, auction footage, price tag overlays, eBay screenshots, coin grading label. In the world of coin collectors, quality is king. 119860 Roosevelt time graded. That's mint state 68 with full bands. By sold for over $2,000 in a public auction. What does full bands mean? That refers to the horizontal lines on the torch on the reverse of the coin, on high quality strikes. These bands are fully separated and distinct, something that's surprisingly rare for 19860 dimes. The value jumps dramatically from 2. In fact, only a handful have ever been graded at this high level, making them extremely desirable for collectors building top-tier registry sets. Now let's talk about mint errors, the golden ticket for coin hunters. Some 19860 dimes have been discovered with major mint errors, including off-center strikes, clipped planchettes, double strikes, wrong planchette errors, like a dime struck on a penny or foreign coin, blank. Depending on the severity and uniqueness, error dimes can sell for anywhere from $50 to several $100s. Combine a rare error with high grade, and you've got a serious collector's item. Want to find out if your 19860 dime is valuable? Here's what to do. Check the date and mint mark. You're looking for 1986 with a D under the date. Examine the condition. No scratches, shiny luster, nowhere equals more valuable. Inspect the torch. Use a magnifying glass to look at the bands. Full, crisp lines mean a higher grade. Look for errors off-center, misaligned dies, doubling, or wrong metal. Consider grading. If it looks flawless, send it to or NGC for grading. A certified coin fetches much more at auction. The odds of finding a gem quality or error 19860 dime are slim, but not impossible. That's what makes coin hunting so exciting. For just a dime, you might uncover a piece worth thousands. So the next time you get change at the store or dig through your old coin jar, take a closer look. You never know what's hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more coin collecting tips and stories, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next treasure hunt. Share this video with a friend, maybe they've got the valuable dime. This has been your source for coin stories, collecting tips, and hidden treasures. Keep searching. Your fortune could be just one coin away. The next up, your ultimate source for rare coins, numismatic treasures, and untold money mysteries. Today, we're diving deep into a story that's shocking coin collectors and treasure hunters alike. A seemingly ordinary 19960 Roosevelt dime that turned out to be worth thousands of dollars. That's right, one dime, 10 cents, selling for more than the cost of a used car. Let's break down how this happened, what made it so valuable, and what you should be looking for in your pocket change. The Roosevelt dime has been a staple of American pocket change since 1946. Introduced after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, this 10-cent piece honors the 32nd president's legacy, especially his fight against polio through the March of Dimes campaign. Over the decades, billions of these coins have been struck, mostly made of a copper nickel clad since 1965. Or, in 1996, something special happened. It marked the 50th anniversary of the Roosevelt dime. While most of these dimes are common, minted in the hundreds of millions, a few rare examples have caught collectors' attention for reasons we'll explore now. Let's talk specifically about the 19960 Roosevelt dime. Over 1.4 billion of these coins were minted in Denver that year. So why would one of them sell for more than $5,000 at auction? The answer, condition and rarity. The dime in question was graded by professional coin grading service as Mint State 68 full bands. That FB designation refers to the sharply defined bands on the torch on the reverse side. It's an indicator of an exceptionally well-struck coin with little to no wear and perfect clarity. Cut 2. Diagram showing torch bands, smooth versus full band detail. Full bands are rare on 19960 dimes because the Denver Mint dies were often overused or weakly struck that year. To find one in condition, incredibly tough. Like a
That's
dime
why
struck on a
collectors go
penny
crazy
or
for them.
foreign coin
In recent
blank,
years,
depending on the
one
severity
such
and
coin was
uniqueness.
auctioned for more than
Dimes can sell
$5,000,
for anywhere
making it
from
one of the most
$50 to
expensive
several $100.
1996 dimes
Combine a
ever.
rare error with
Sold?
high grade,
Why
and you've
so
got
much
a
money for
serious
10
collector's
cents?
item.
Because
Want
top
to
grade
find out
coins,
if your
especially with
19860
rarity
dime
factors
is
like full bands,
valuable?
are highly
Here's
sought
what to
after for
do.
registries
Check
such
the
as
date
screenshots
and
of
mid-mark.
auction
You're
listings.
looking for
Registry value
1986
charts at the
with
time of
under the
sale.
date.
There were
Examine.
fewer than
The
10
condition,
coins
no
graded by
scratches,
and
shiny
0 in.
luster.
The supply
Nowhere
is that
equals
limited.
more valuable.
And when supply
Inspect
is
the
low
torch.
but
Use a
demand is high from
magnifying glass to
collectors
look at
trying
the
to
band.
complete the
Full
best possible
crisp lines
sets,
mean a higher
prices can
grade.
skyrocket.
Look for errors
So,
off center,
how can you find a
misaligned
valuable
dies,
1996
doubling, or wrong
dime?
metal?
Here's what
Consider
to look
grading.
for.
If it
On-screen
looks flawless,
checklist appears.
send it to or
Denver
NGC
Mint Mark
for
D,
grading.
located to the right of
A
Roosevelt's
certified
neck
coin
no
fetches
visible wear.
much
Look
more
for
at
clean
auction.
fields,
The
sharp
odds
details, full
of
bands on
finding
the
a
reverse
gem
torch.
quality or
Examine
error
under
19860
magnification submit.
dime are
To or
slim, but
NGC
not
for grading.
impossible.
Only a top-tier
That's
grading
what
will
makes
confirm
coin
true
hunting
even if
so
you don't have a
exciting.
dime. One
For
in or
just a
condition
dime,
can still
you
be
might
worth
uncover
hundreds
a
of
piece
dollars
worth
depending on the market.
So the
Coin
next
grading
time you
plays
get
a
change
major
at the
role in
store or dig
numismatics.
through
A single
your old coin
point on the
jar,
grading
take a
scale can
closer
mean the
look.
difference between
You
a
never
coin
know
worth
what's
$1
hiding in plain
and one
sight.
worth
If you
thousands.
enjoyed this video,
That's why
hit that
professional
like
grading
button.
is crucial if you
Subscribe for
suspect
more
your coin might be
collecting tips
rare.
and
If you
stories.
think you've
And
got
ring that
something special,
notification bell
don't
so you
clean
don't
it.
miss our
That
next
can ruin
treasure
its
hunt.
value.
Share this video
Store
with
it safely
a friend.
and consult
Maybe
a
they've got
reputable
the
dealer or
valuable
grading
dime.
service. Who
This
knew a
has been your
10-cent
source
coin
for
could be
coin
worth
stories,
thousands?
collecting
The
tips, and hidden
1960
treasures.
Roosevelt dime might look
Keep searching.
ordinary,
Your
but under
fortune
the
could
right
be just
conditions,
one
it
coin
can be a
away.
true treasure.
The next
So next time you're checking your change, take a closer look.
Anything today.
If you found this
But what
video
if I told you
helpful,
that a single
smash
dime
that
from
like button,
1986?
more rare,
Yes,
coin deep
just a
dives,
regular
and
looking
drop a comment bell.
1986
Have you
Roosevelt
ever
dime
found a rare
could be
dime in
worth thousands of
circulation?
dollars.
And
Today,
stay curious.
we're diving deep in. The next up, what if I told you that a simple dime, yes, just 10 cents, could be worth thousands of dollars? Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, buckle up. Because today we're diving into the rare world of the 1990 U.S. Roosevelt dime and the shocking reasons why some of these coins are making waves in the collector world. Visual, archival footage of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, followed by early versions of the Roosevelt Roosevelt dime has been part of American currency since 1946, introduced to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his death in 1945. He wasn't just a leader. During the Great Depression and World War II, he was also a champion in the fight against polio, which made the March of Dimes campaign a personal cause. Hence, the dime was a fitting tribute. Since then, billions of dimes have been minted. Most are worth only their face value, just 10 cents. But as with all things in numismatics, it's the rare errors, exceptional conditions, and historical quirks that create value. The Denver Mint produced over 1.3 billion Roosevelt dimes in 1999. That's a staggering number, which would make you think there's nothing special about a 1999 dime. And for the most part, you'd be right. But here's the kicker: certain 1999 dimes in exceptional condition, or with rare minting errors, have sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars at auctions. Let's break down what can make a 1999 Roosevelt dime highly valuable. Some 1999 dimes were struck with dramatic errors. These include off-center strikes, double dies, where the coin design is stamped; twice-clipped plankets, where the coin is missing a piece. Wrong planchet errors. For example, a dime struck on a penny blank. If your dime has one of these errors, collectors will pay serious money. In some cases, over $1,000 depending on the severity and uniqueness of the error. 2. High-grade condition and up coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. A coin graded mint state 67 or higher is incredibly rare for the 1999 series because dimes are mass-produced and often damaged during handling. 1 1999 dime graded by sold for over $1,500 at auction, and that was just for condition alone. There are very few known at that grade. So, how can you tell if your 1999 dime is worth a fortune? Step 1. Check the mint mark. Look for the D under the year. That stands for Denver, no D. Then you've got a Philadelphia mint coin, which is a different story. Step 2. Examine the coin's surface use a magnifying glass. Look for sharp details now where or scratch is clear. Luster and strike step 3. Look for errors show the coin at different angles. Check for doubling on the date, letters, or Roosevelt's profile. Inspect the edge. Is any part missing or oddly cut? If you suspect an error or the coin looks flawless, it's worth sending it to a grading service like or NGC. Let's look at some real-world sales that prove this isn't just a collector's fantasy. In 2019, a 19990 dime graded by sold for $1,610 at Heritage Auctions. An off-center error dime from 19990 fetched over $500 on eBay in 2023. Even coins graded a step below the rarest grades regularly sell for $50 to $150. Depending on demand, these prices may seem wild for a coin you could find in pocket change, but that's the thrill of numismatics. In this case, copper nickel. Here's what to do next. 1. Don't clean the coin. Cleaning destroys numismatic value. Even gentle rubbing can ruin the surface. Point 2. Use coin holders or flips. Protect the coin immediately. Air, moisture, and handling can degrade it quickly. Point 3. Get a professional grading. Submit it to a top-tier grading service like or NGC. Their certification will boost value and trust among buyers. 4. Sell through auctions or dealers for rare or high-grade. Examples: consider Heritage Auctions are trusted local coin shops and dealers. They know how to reach the right buyers. While we're on the topic of dime values, did you know the most expensive dime ever sold is the 1894 S. Barber dime, which went for over $2 million. It's proof that even the smallest coins can hold massive value. While your 1990 won't reach that level, it can still surprise you. The 1990 Roosevelt dime may not look like much, but under the right circumstances, a pristine condition, a rare error, or a lucky find, it can turn into a payday you never expected. So the next time you get change at the store, take a second look at your dimes. You might just be holding a small fortune in your hand. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or surprising, hit that like button. And the next up, could a single dime in your pocket be worth thousands of dollars? What if we told you a 2015 dime, yes, a coin that's barely a decade old, once sold for nearly $2,000? Buckle up, because today we're diving into the surprising story behind the most expensive 2015 Roosevelt dime ever sold. Footage, Denver Mint exterior, coin presses, and coin dies in action. Voiceover. The 2015 Roosevelt dime was struck at the Denver Mint, which has produced billions of coins for circulation since 1906. On the surface, there's nothing particularly unusual about this modern dime. It weighs 2.27 grams, is composed of a copper nickel clad, and features the familiar profile of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Cut 2. Historical footage or photos of FDR. The March of Dimes campaign. Voiceover. The Roosevelt dime was introduced in 1946, shortly after FDR's death, to honor his legacy and his role in the fight against polio through the March of Dimes. Since then, it has become a staple of American coinage. Graphics, factors that drive coin value, rarity, errors, and condition. Voiceover. When it comes to modern coins, value isn't usually tied to age. It's about rarity, condition, and mint errors. A common dime in your change jar is worth 10 cents. But if it has an error, is in flawless condition, or is part of a rare die variety, its value can skyrocket. Cut 2. Mint error examples: off-center strikes, double dies, etc. Voiceover. Collectors and investors often pay premiums for coins in mint state, especially those graded or higher. The grading scale, created by the Sheldon system, runs from 1 to 70, and anything 68 or above is exceptionally rare for a coin that's actually seen circulation. In 2019, a 2015 Roosevelt dime graded by just 1 point away from perfection was sold for a jaw-dropping $1,995 at auction. That's 19,950 times its face value. Cut 2. auction footage, bidding paddles, coins, and their inspection voiceover. What made it so valuable? Primarily, it's ultra-high grade. Out of the millions of 2015D dimes produced, only a tiny fraction have survived in nearly perfect condition. In fact, is an incredibly elusive grade for this date and mint mark, with fewer than a dozen known examples at that level. Grading is everything in modern coin collecting. Two coins can look nearly identical, but a single grade point can mean hundreds or even thousands of dollars in difference. That's why serious collectors turn to trusted grading services like NGC. Cut 2. Labels on slabs showing population reports and grade rarity charts voiceover. The population report shows how many coins exist at each grade. For the 2015D dime, is not that rare, but? That's the top of the pyramid, the rarity of that grade, combined with its certified status, makes it a hot commodity for registry set collectors. You might be wondering, could I find one of these valuable dimes in circulation? While it's unlikely, it's not impossible. Coins in original mint sets or bankrolls have the best chance of being in high grade. Show examples of coin flips, holders, coin tubus voiceover. Look for coins with strong strikes, no beg marks, and brilliant luster. Use a loupe and study them carefully. And when in doubt, send them to a grading service. You never know when you might have a gem. The 2015D Roosevelt dime might seem like pocket change, but under the right circumstances, it becomes a collector's treasure. One perfect dime, $1,995. That's the magic of numismatics on camera. So the next time you get change back, take a closer look at those coins. Who knows, your next big find might be worth far more than 10 cents. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this dive into modern coin collecting, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss future numismatic adventures.